Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here are your supernatural hosts, Patricia Baker and Becky Andreasen. Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I am your host, Patricia Baker, and I am here with my co-host, Becky Andreasen. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Patricia. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so happy. There is absolutely no echo on the line. We are clear tonight.
Good to go.
Yes. Hip, hip, hooray.
Yes. I'm happy, too. Oh, those echoes were getting a little annoying.
That was awful, but now I think we've got it. I think you did it this time. You got it all fixed for us, so we're happy. Happy little supernatural girls.
Oh, yes.
Well, we've got a great show for everybody tonight. Our guest is Alan Shoemaker, and he is the author of Ayahuasca Medicine. And this is an amazing book. Didn't you love this book?
Oh, I loved the book. It is just fabulous. And, oh, my gosh, everything he told that happened and his walk through life and these discoveries of these plants and the, everything, the magic in them, even the life in them, spiritual life in them, and the healing properties, it just blew me away reading this. It was awesome.
It's incredible. He's just a wealth of information, and of course, all of these personal experiences are just incredible. So I can't wait to get him on the air and talk to him about all of this. I'm waiting to see him on the board. I don't see him here yet.
On the board.
But he is calling in from Peru, so we're going to give him a little extra time to get here.
Oh, he's here.
He's here?
Yes, he's on the board.
He is. Are you sure?
Yes. Yes, I see him on the board. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that. So
yes, yay.
I do have some supernatural news, though. I do need to share with everybody. I'm so excited to share this news. This is about the Andreasen Affair book.
Mm-hmm.
This book, as you know, is actually going to be reprinted, and it's going to be available for everybody this fall. So New Page Publishing is going to publish the book. I'm just beside myself about it. And I know you are. My goodness, this is your legacy.
Yes, I'm very excited, and there's lots of people that may not know anything about it, and it's going to be a whole new experience to read and open up for them.
It really is. It's just so amazing that your mom, Betty, and Bob, her husband, are going to be out talking about this again, their story of what happened originally, but so much has happened since then. And I know they're going to be sharing all of that with our radio show and television shows and everything else. So it's going to get a lot of publicity, just like it did the first time.
Absolutely. Yes.
And you were part of it then. You're going to be a part of it now. So it's really exciting. Goodness.
I know. I know.
So anyways, let's see. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about ayahuasca. So this is a very magical, mystical, powerful medicine. And are you sure Alan's with us? Because I am not so sure.
Yes, I have him here.
You do? Okay. Is
yes,
he
I have him on the board.
you do. All right. Well, I'm going to bring him live then.
Yes.
All right. So, Alan, he is a formally trained ayahuasquero, curandero, and writer. He is the host of the annual International Amazonian Shamanism Conference, administrator of the Vine of the Soul Intensives, and founder and director of the Soga del Alma Church of Ayahuasca. So he lives in Peru with his 2 children, and we're going to find out all about this. And I have so many questions, I don't even know where to start. So, all right, so I'm going to bring this person live on the air. We're going to find out if this is Alan or not. So it's going to be...
Okay.
Hi, Alan. I hope this is you.
Is this Patricia?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's me.
Alan, yay! Welcome to the show.
Yay.
I'm sorry I didn't recognize your number, but Becky with her psychic powers kept telling me, no, it's Alan, it's Alan.
That's right. I could feel you there on the other end of the line.
Welcome, Alan. Welcome to Supernatural Girls. Thank you so much for calling in from Peru.
Yeah.
And my goodness, you sound great. You're nice and clear as a bell. So we're so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Good. I'm really happy to be here. Yeah, I've never heard of this. Of course, I've been down here for 23 years. So my publisher told me about Supernatural Girls, and that sounds pretty wild to me. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Oh, we love your book, Ayahuasca Medicine, The Shamanic World of Amazonian and Sacred Plant Healing. It's available on Amazon.com. It is terrific. What a wonderful book.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I wrote that about 17 years ago, and I had an agent in London, and she tried to sell it to all the majors. And the problem was they loved the book, but they said that they have already put a lot of money behind Carlos Castaneda and all these other famous people, and so they would sell my book, but it would mean they would sell less of the others. So they told me to look for a small house. So I shelved it for a long time until I sent it off to Inner Traditions, Bearing Company, and they picked it up, and I really appreciate it. I've got another one getting ready to come out as well.
Oh, good. Well, you're going to have to come back at that time, and so we can talk to you about your new book. And we certainly thank Inner Traditions for having the foresight and the wisdom to publish this book. It's just a wonderful book to read. There's so much information, so many personal stories. I mean, there's so much to talk about with this. How in the world did you decide that this was going to be your path?
Well, that decision was not made by me. It was made by Spirit World. And since I've been a child, I've had things happen to me, and finally I recognized it was real. And when I was told to come here, I packed up and said, okay. I had no idea why. And then on the way down here, I took a cab from Seattle to the airport, and I had him stop at a magazine rack so I could get something to read on the plane. And I walked in the door, and it was like a lightning bolt shot out and said, buy this magazine. That was Shaman's Drum. And I had never read things like that before. I'm like, I play golf and I have sports and that kind of stuff. So I said, okay. I'll buy that. And so the synchronicities that happened to me while I was coming down, it kept me coming and led me down here to what I'm doing now.
Wow. Now, when Becky and I were reading the book, we were both amazed by some of your early life experiences. They were so unusual. You talk about some events that really had no logical explanation. For example, the rain of frogs. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I'm sorry, which part? The rain of frogs?
The rain, when frogs were raining around you?
Oh, yeah. I was about 11 years old, I think, 10 or 11, something like that. And I'm walking down Central Street in Harlem, and you have these, like, really quick, thundercloud bursts. And all of a sudden, all these tiny little frogs are raining on me. I'm like, what's going on? And I look up and are they falling from the trees or what? No, it's coming from the sky. And, I didn't think much of it except that, well, that was really bizarre. But, on the first draft of this book many years ago, my friend Jim was visiting me, and he said, do you have stories from your childhood and things that happened to you that were bizarre? And I thought back, and I remembered, yeah, I had this story. He goes, that's incredible. And I realized, I guess that is pretty amazing. But
It is incredible. And, you know, as you've gone down this path of shamanism and mysticism, have you come to understand what was the meaning of that? Was there some symbolism that came to light with that experience?
Of all the things that I've done in my life, which was like a lot of theater since I was a child, I screen actor skills since I was like 16, a lot of stage work, and then I'm a musician and a singer, and I'm an artist basically, but not any one art specifically. The other people in my family are painters, and I can't paint stickmen, but they don't sing and they don't play music, so I mean my talents went in another direction. So the only thing I can figure is that, and every time I turned a corner, there was like the spirit world told me to keep on coming, keep on going, and you're on the right trail, because when you're on the right path, you have all these synchronicities that happen, and it keeps going in the right direction. So finally, when I get down here, I'm starting to learn shamanism and running ceremonies eventually of ayahuasca, and you get to use all your talents. I was also a psychologist, so you use your gifts and you can see where people are and what they need, and then to get even further out on the limb, when you're drinking ayahuasca, you go into another dimension, and there are spirits that come up to you and they talk to you, and they're like doctor spirits, and they tell you you're like a hollow bone, you're a vessel, so they can tell you what's wrong with somebody, and then they will give you the information about what kind of medicine, what kind of plant medicine to give these people, or what they need.
Now you had this
keeping your ego out of the way so you can pay attention.
You had this experience specifically with a number of people, but you mentioned in the book there's a chapter about your mom and how you were also directed with exactly what she needed to be healed from liver cancer.
Yes.
Tell us about that. That's just an amazing story.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, I got a phone call. I'd been here for several years, and she called me to tell me that she saw her doctor, and she had hepatocellular cancer, and they gave her 2 months to live. So that's a pretty big shock. I hadn't seen her in 7 years, so I went out to one of my teachers that I'd graduated from, and drank ayahuasca with him, and also with Peter Gorman, a good friend of mine. Peter used to be the editor of High Times magazine. We're very good friends. So we drank ayahuasca, and the first night was to determine what kind of cancer that she had, what's going on. And there's liver cancer, I saw that too. And then drank again to see what kind of medicine to take her. And if you get your ego out of the way, we all have guardian spirits that are with us all the time, unless you do so many obnoxious, terrible things, and they'll just leave you. And your own soul will leave you as well. There's a lot of soulless people walking around out there. Mm-hmm. And she keeps your ego out of the way, and they give you the information that you need. So they told me these 2 plants to give her. And so I flew up, and I hadn't seen her for 7 years. I walked in the door, and I said, "Mother, you've got this cancer because you're taking a pill to lower the cholesterol in your body, and it's affected your liver." And she said, "Yeah, I was taking metformin or something like that, I forget." And she said, "But yeah, the doctor told me not to take anymore." Of course he said that, because that's what caused the cancer. So, but I've got this medicine here, and you drink it 3 times a day. And so I showed her how to cook it. They were dried plants. And then she showed my brother and my sister. And I stayed for like 2 weeks, and I had to tour, lecturing in libraries and stuff. And a month later, I was back in Flagstaff, Arizona, and there was a message on the machine with my friend where I was staying there to please call home in 1 month. And I was really concerned, And she said, "Alan, I wanted you to know that I went in to see the doctor, and they operated on me. They're going to take out as much of the cancer as they could from my liver. And but when they opened me up, the cancer had reduced down to the size of a thumbnail, and they clipped that off and threw it out."
Oh, my goodness.
The doctors are really they have no idea what's going on here, and there's some sort of miracle here. And she told them about me, and they're still they can't understand this kind of stuff. And I said, "Well, you keep taking the medicine." And she said, "Yeah, of course. But I had a problem with that, because with her and her husband, she married a Lutheran minister who lived across the street. And he was like, "Glenna, this is all like folkloric stuff, superstitious stuff, mysticism stuff. It's not about these plants. It's about us saying our prayers. So we just keep saying the prayers, and we don't have to take this medicine anymore." So I told her, so look, you say your prayers, absolutely, but you keep taking the medicine, okay? And so she did, but then she would run out and not call me, not tell me, and my brothers would tell me that she stopped taking the medicine because Charlie is saying, don't take the medicine anymore. And so I'd have to call her and convince her to get back on the medicine again, so we went back and forth. So she lived very good until she was 72 years old, and the cancer came back and it was all over her body, and she finally died. But
wow.
She
so
got,
she really didn't have
years
any
very
support
crazy.
from her husband to continue this type of treatment.
Nothing.
That makes it hard.
No, nothing.
But she lived beyond the initial
my brother and my
diagnosis. How
sister,
long?
2 months.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear how long she lived after the initial diagnosis.
She lived for 7 years.
7
But
years.
they gave her
That's a
2 months
long
before I gave
time.
her
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. Yeah, she died when she was 72.
Wow. So that's just an amazing, amazing story of this. And certainly in the book, you talk about how this medication she was on does an alchemical kind of a dance in the liver. So you were absolutely right in what you were saying about the effect this medication was having.
Yeah, well, believe me, I researched it after I got this information in ceremony from Spirit World. I researched cat's claw, and you can too, and there's been many, many, many studies on it, on anti-cancer, anti-tumor, anti-inflammatory, and it raises your immune system so high that if you're taking chemo, the chemo won't work. They will annihilate both each other. So, yeah, and anyone taking chemo out there, anyone taking radiation therapy, please, you're going the wrong route.
Well, a study came out recently that I was reading, and this was in the mainstream media, which really surprised me, saying that chemo actually can spread cancer. So that was amazing to me that it was reported.
It doesn't kill you first.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I mean, I think we're on the same wavelength. And again, to all our listeners out there, I think healing is a very personal choice, and there are some people who feel very strongly that, they're on a certain treatment protocol, and it may include chemo, radiation, and that is certainly their choice, and we don't disagree with them. It's just I think it's just a very personal kind of thing. But I know for myself, I wouldn't choose that route. And obviously you wouldn't either.
Well, that's good to hear. We have all been so brainwashed by the medical community and by the pharmaceutical industry that even when it's shown to be that chemotherapy and radiation is not the way to go for cancers, there's a cognitive dissonance that's happening there. So no matter how much you can show them what the real facts are and what's really good for you, what will cure cancers, people refuse to listen. They can't hear it because their mind is so set with what they've been brainwashed to believe.
That's true.
And a lot of that also is because of the fluoride in the water.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think people's discernment has definitely been altered, and not only that, there's a lot of fear that comes with disease, and the whole structure of our medical system, which hands over all the power to somebody else, whether it's a doctor or, again, this whole big medical community we've built up. It's only in the last 15, 20 years that people have actually started to question that. So I think there's a lot more awareness than there used to be, and people are making different choices even when faced with serious health problems like cancer. But you're right, there is a certain amount of brainwashing that comes from the media and other places about this is what you have to do if you have this. But
the pharmaceutical community has never, ever been about healing people.
No,
it's been about
relieving
some symptoms, but then giving you other things so you continue buying the same stuff. So other pills, you never get really healed. And it's not about us, it's about them. It's about money.
Well, that's true. It's absolutely true. I know. I follow autoimmune diseases quite closely, and there's an explosion of autoimmune disease here in this country. There is very little for treatment, and there's certainly no cures. But what they do offer are a lot of medications that are quite expensive that manage symptoms to some degree. And, of course, pharmaceutical industry loves these kind of patients because they are customers for life. And that's what people have to understand. It's about finding customers, not healing and not finding cures. So I agree. I mean,
absolutely.
How do you weigh in on this, Becky?
Yeah, I do agree. I absolutely agree. And I mean, God made every single plant on this green earth to heal man. Anything we have can be healed through that. I mean, that's his promise. So, I mean, I love hearing about discovering these plants and seeing this spirit in everything. Energy is spirit. There's spirit in everything. So even seeing them within the plant, the spirit energy within that plant, and knowing, what it is there for and communicating, I mean, that is so pure. It is so pure and so beautiful. I love when we have guests like you out here and can tell the people about this and make them aware of what is really there, because lots of people have no clue of this. They have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. I mean, I think we have to thank the social networks, because like Facebook and Twitter and other things like that, the information is getting out and it's spreading really fast. It's like a wildfire.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, tell us a little bit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Becky.
Go ahead. I just wanted to tell him I loved the part where you spoke in the book about evil spirits not liking tobacco smoke at all.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? I have Mohawk Indian in me, and I do smoke. So I'm wondering, and I do have psychic ability, so I'm wondering if that's part of why I smoke. Yeah.
I remember the first time I was drinking a Don Juan Tangoa, and he said, we were doing Ayahuasca, and it was in the evening, and it's time to go outside to purge. And he says, are you going outside? Yeah. He says, take a cigarette with you. I said, well, I just smoked a cigarette. I'm fine. He goes, no, you don't understand. Just light one up and carry it in your hand. That smoke around you is enough to keep that negative energy from attaching itself to you. One of the most sacred plants here in the jungle is tobacco, and it's all natural. It's all organic. It's called mapacho, Nicotina rustica. And when I first met him, I had my first teacher, Valentin, in the Andes of Ecuador, and he smoked the mapacho pipe. And very regal, very incredible song. And one time ago, when I first tried him out, his Icaros songs that he sang during the ceremonies were beautiful. His ayahuasca was just okay. That I figured I could work with him. So the next morning, I told him, one, okay, look, I love your Icaros, your ayahuasca. We can work on that to make it better. But I do have one problem. And you're smoking these phenos, that's like Marlboro or Winston or something like that. And you should be smoking like the mapacho, organic tobacco. He goes, what do you smoke, Alan? I said, well, I smoke the phenos. He goes, why do you smoke those? I said, well, because mapachos are too strong for me. He said, really? But see, Alan, I see patients from 9 o'clock in the morning until ceremony at night, and I'm smoking all day to blow smoke on all these people, and I can't possibly smoke mapacho tobacco. It's just really too strong for me, too. I said, yeah, I understand. Okay, that's fine. So one of the traditional gifts when people come to a ceremony, because when I was here 23 years ago, there were no gringos here. So we were doing ceremonies on dirt floors with Peruvians coming in, and traditionally the way to run a ceremony is it's donation only. But because it's donation only, that means that they're not going to give any money because they don't have any. And they could at least bring a chicken or something, but they don't bring anything. So what they do is bring a pack of cigarettes. And that will be a pack of like Caribe, which is the cheapest brand of cigarette there is. It comes smuggled in from Brazil. It costs like $1 a pack. And I'm standing here with one in my hand right now.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, well, now I know the secret.
Yes.
There. I feel much better.
You mentioned in your book also, Alan, that it's not the tobacco that's necessarily so bad. It is all of the additives and the way it's processed that make it a concern for people's health.
Yeah, look, when I came down here, I had 22 sponsors because I was in the mountaineering industry as a rep for the Pacific Northwest selling crampons and ice axes and tents and high-tech stuff. And then finally I became a U.S. distributor for a line of hiking and climbing boots made in Italy, and I spent some time in Italy with design work and that kind of stuff. And so when that was over and it was time to come down here, I know all the the marketing people from all these various companies. So I would write them a letter and say, look, you give me that backpack, you give me those boots, you give me Timex watches, REI, all this equipment. I'm going to give you photographs of your product in use in the jungle for your catalogs. And a photograph like that's going to cost several $1,000s. So I had the UPS and Federal Express truck pulling in like manna from heaven every day with all these things, even Dr. Bronner's soap. Timex watches, literally, they're sending a bunch of watches. And so one also was American Spirit tobacco. And they sent me a huge case of tobacco. So I bring it down here and I hand it out to the shamans, and I put pictures of them smoking it, rolling up American Spirit. So, yeah.
Oh, that's great. And now, American Spirit, I'm not a smoker, so please enlighten me. American Spirit tobacco, that's a Native American tobacco that is additive free?
No, that a very, very wise man decided to make natural tobacco and not as Marlboro and all the other companies do. They will suck out all the juice from the tobacco and add 556 chemicals into it, and some are banned for use completely, and then put it back into tobacco, dry it up, and roll it up in cigarettes and sell to us. So who is really running the tobacco companies? Is it a tobacco company or is it a pharmaceutical company? Because people are ultimately going to get sick from that.
Good question. Good question. Oh, my. Well, and tobacco...
Time for me to change brand. Change my brand. I'm going down this week and getting a different brand, the pure tobacco cigarette.
Good.
Yeah.
That's much better. Now,
yes.
Tobacco for smoking, and like you said, just carrying it in your hand when you walked outside during the ceremony, they said was enough to keep bad energy away from you and bad energy from attaching to you. But you also had tobacco liquid that was used in your nasal passages. That sounded pretty awful.
Strong.
Well, no, it's just, there's no flavor from it. So after ceremony in the morning, just as the sun's coming up, you lay down, rinse your nose out with some water, and you've got that, like a friend with 2 syringes full of tobacco extract, natural tobacco extract, and that's squirted in your nose and passes down into your sinus cavities on each side of your nose. Then you tip your head back and it goes in the sinus cavity up on your forehead, and that burns for a little bit. But what it's doing is like picking up all the phlegm there, and when you sit up, you drink it down in your stomach. And then you've got all the tobacco there, so you don't want all that tobacco there because it's toxic for a lot of people. Not for me because I'm a smoker, but you want to throw that up, and you're going to throw that up along with all the phlegm that you just took out your sinus passages. And so people have a lot of ways to learn to throw up, and if you can't naturally throw it up by drinking like a big cup of 16 ounces of Ayahuasca tea, which is a diuretic to the plant, or just warm water. Other people like to stick their finger down the throat. I couldn't do that. It didn't never work for me. So I learned to throw up by, if I cough really deeply from my stomach, then it makes me projectile vomit this stuff out. And so you do the cleansing like 2 or 3 times, and you've never heard your voice before because it's like crystal clear, like a bell. My problem now is that this happened to me like 22 years ago for over 2 years, is that when I get a lot of phlegm in my lungs, or like it's coming out of a cough or something like that, and I cough really deeply, it's like a bulimic. And it's like I've got to run to the bathroom because I'm going to throw up.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this purging thing, it just didn't sound like fun to me as part of the ayahuasca ceremony. And it seems to be part of a lot of these ceremonies, not just this one, but peyote. And I hear a lot about the purging part of this. And so what you're saying is that actually is what the health benefit is. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's if you can look at it as like the ayahuasca is coursing through your whole body, and it's going to deposit a lot of energies and also toxins in your stomach, and then it's going to cause you to throw them up. That's one part. And when I tell people when I'm running ceremonies that you're going to throw up because you'll get an excess of phlegm or saliva in your mouth, and you've got your bucket there, or you can walk outside and throw up. And when you let that go, not only let go of the things that toxins in your stomach you're going to let go of, but also allow yourself to let go of your emotional pent-up things psychologically. Just release everything that you can. And then you've got 25 people in the ceremony vomiting at sometimes at the same time, and then you're going to have to go to the bathroom also because you're going to defecate too, and sometimes doing both at the same time. And
oh my
so
God,
it's incredibly produce, yeah. But it's all part of the family, and that's one of the reasons why ayahuasca will never be like a street drug. It's not a drug anyway. You're not going to see people out in Central Park doing this and having fun with it because it's not fun. I mean, you're going through a process, and you're getting downloaded a lot of information from your spirit world.
So this is serious. I mean, this is serious. Yeah.
Very serious, right? And they say when you're cleansed, the spirit will come closer to you. If you're cleansed, the spirits will come closer to you and interact with you. Then, right?
Yeah.
Plus,
the
I
more
would think
toxins you
too.
have in your system, the less likely they will. You're like a magnet. So if you have your system very cleansed, then the spirits will sit right down inside of you. That's what the diet's all about.
Oh.
So the more toxins you have in your system, the less likely they're going to come to you. So you want to keep yourself really clean, not just physically and psychologically as well.
That makes sense. I mean, I know that the times that I haven't felt well and that has occurred, it's like a surrender. It's just a natural surrender where you just kind of go, I give up.
Yeah.
Let
it fall.
Yeah, I can see where that, that would be of use in an ayahuasca ceremony. But we're going to take a short break. And stay tuned, everybody. If you have a question for Alan, call in at 646-478-0828. Again, the number is 646-478-0828. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bonjour, this is Veronique Raskin, founder of the Organic Wine Company. As one of the pioneers of the organic wine movement, since 1980 I have brought you the very best and most authentic organic wines directly to your table. I work with small family estates who grow certified organic grapes and produce exceptional wines. You can purchase our wines individually from our website at theorganicwinecompany.com or join one of our wine clubs. Our organic wines are perfect for you and for your family as gifts for friends and relatives, and they are simply spectacular for the holidays. Visit us at theorganicwinecompany.com to enjoy the very best organic wines conveniently delivered to your door. I am Veronique Raskin, passionate about my mission. I offer to you vegan, organic, and biodynamic wines made by people of the heart, wines with a heart. Au revoir. Call us at 1-888-ECO-WINE.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With cosmic fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless. Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion. www.KOSMICfusion.com to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? how to find out, and how to fix it. Attorney Quintillion answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy Attorney Pat Quintillion's book today. Are you getting screwed on your property taxes? How to find out and how to fix it. Available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We are having a wonderful discussion here tonight with Alan Shoemaker. Alan is the author of Ayahuasca Medicine, The Shamanic World of Amazonian Sacred Plant Healing. The book is available on Amazon.com. Alan, also, do you have a website and email address where people can contact you directly?
Well, I have my email is Alan Shoemaker. That's AlanShoemaker @hotmail.com. And I have also the website for the annual conference that I run. This is the 10th anniversary of the International Amazonian Shamanism Conference here in Iquitos, July the 19th to the 25th, and that's www.vineofthesoul.org, vineofthesoul.org.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that, because I know people are going to want to talk to you directly, especially after this show and after reading your excellent book. So now the ayahuasca vine, can you tell us a little bit more about that and how, because my understanding is you can't just have straight ayahuasca, you have to mix it with something else. Is that true?
Well, it depends. Years ago when people were called bipolar or manic depressive, doctors would give them an extract of the beta-carbolines, and beta-carbolines is the alkaloid that's in the ayahuasca vine itself. So that chemical, that alkaloid, lasts about 12 hours and keeps you on a really smooth, keel, and that was a very good medicine to give. But to have an actual ayahuasca session, you want to have ayahuasca mixed with either chacruna or charipanga. That would be Psychophylla viridis or Dipopteris cabarena, and those two plants contain DMT. So what you have is that you have naturally occurring in your stomach, in your colon, you have a monoamine oxidase, and there's a whole lot of plants, including lettuce and grasses and flower's grass, a lot of things in our life that we eat that contain DMT, and if we didn't have this naturally occurring chemical, an enzyme in our system, we would be walking around looking into other dimensions all the time. So somehow God has meant for us to have this ML so we don't have to be flying all the time. So what happens is that the beta-carbolines in the ayahuasca vine neutralize your naturally occurring monoamine oxidase that you have in your system, because beta-carbolines are called MAOIs, inhibitors. So when it's inhibited, then it shuts down the MAO so that the DMT from the leaf can come into your system and get past the blood-brain barrier, and that's what takes you to another dimension.
Now you've done this many, many, many times. Now, is it a certain time frame that this occurs? So from the time you start drinking this mixture, does it go for 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours? I mean, or can it go? Is it hard to predict?
Well, typically within 20, 25 minutes. Normally, some people take longer, like an hour, but once you start feeling the effects, you'll go up and see maybe spirit world if you're lucky, because there's a visionary state and there's also a very hallucinatory state with abstracts and colors and things like that. But the dimethyltryptamine in the leaf has a half-life of only 3 hours. So even if you go up for an hour and a half, by the time you get up for an hour and a half, you're already starting to come down, so you don't have to be concerned that you can't deal with this, because you're on your way down already. And typically, if you're in a ceremony and the space has been cleaned with like holy wood, polished salt, we burn them like an incense, like using sage in the States with the indigenous cleaning areas, and you've got a good shaman. The idea of having like ugly monsters coming in or frightful, that doesn't happen. It's all really normally pretty beautiful stuff. Or you just get the medicine, and the medicine is like it can pretty much cure anything if you allow your mind to let go and let it do its work. And sometimes you'll have like the doctors come in from another dimension, and they're on top of you and they're working on you. And it's unending. I've had ayahuasca probably 2,000 plus times, and it's never the same anytime.
And you've never had any bad experiences with it, then? Everything's been positive.
Well, initially, I was a little bit frightened because I first worked in San Pedro with my maestro in the Andes of Ecuador, and that was always really beautiful. And when I started drinking here on dirt floors way out in the jungle with my teacher here and just proving he's coming, he would say to me, Alan, if you see any spirits in here, let me know and I'll chase them out. And I'm thinking, well, Jesus, he's so bastardized his own gift that he can't see anymore. And I've got these spirits all over me, and they're looking at me like, oh, look at the gringo, look at the gringo. And I just like to, okay, if you bother me, I'm going to blow smoke on you, or I'm going to kill one. And they were like the low-level spirits that have really no power. They're just like curious. They're probably like lost souls that when the body died, they didn't really get picked up and taken anywhere, so they're waiting on something else to happen. But initially, for me, that was like kind of frightening. And at that point, I had a necklace which had the Virgin Mary on it, and I would just grab that and go, I'm going to be all right. And but they didn't have any power at all. So that's 22, 23 years ago. But no, as far as having something frightening, no, never. I've had things that your mind has to accept when you see like a spirit walk through the wall and come right up to you and talk to you and tell you what's wrong with someone, and I'm like, I'm really lost my mind. I'm listening to a spirit tell me something. And is this real, or am I just like tripping? So you have to get to a point where you have to accept what's happening. And then if you do what they tell you to do, and you give these people these plants, and they get better, then you go, my God, this is real. And
so people
we
can
are,
take this.
We are.
People can take this mixture for two reasons. One is for mystical reasons, because they want that door opened, because they want to experience the other side of the veil and the ability to communicate with spirits. And then other people may want to use it for health reasons.
Yes, for healing as
to
well.
To cure
exactly.
a serious illness or some other type of imbalance that they're experiencing.
Yes, absolutely, yes, yeah. And also to get in touch with your own guardian spirits that we all have. And when you say I don't, my intuition tells me I shouldn't do that, or my gut feeling is, it really is not that. You've got these guardian spirits with you, and they're talking to you. If you can get yourself out of the way, they're the ones that's your intuition. They're the ones that are your gut feeling. They're with you all the time.
And you talk about your guardian spirits in the book also, and I believe you mentioned 3 guardian spirits that you have.
Yeah.
And you were able to contact them and get introduced?
They talk to me.
That's great.
I haven't met the daughters yet, but, they talk to me. They've been talking to me since I was a child.
Well, you must be one of the healthiest life.
Yes.
I mean, your life has been very mystical. When you talk about your childhood, you have had so many experiences long before you went to Peru. So it's like you were supposed to be doing this, I guess. But it's just fascinating to hear how many times you've done this ritual and all of the different experiences that you've had with it, and not one of them has been negative. I mean, that's just that's kind of a good testament to ayahuasca and what's possible.
Well, every time I've used this, the space has been clean, your mind is in the right place. So it's all about the old adage of set and setting. So you get that done and make sure, and I run ceremonies all over the world, and I spend like 2 hours making sure everyone's in the right place in their mind before I give them a drink. And I've never had a problem.
Wow. 2 things. One, you must be the healthiest person on earth. And I'm telling you, I mean, that's for healing too. So, oh my gosh, you must be beaming when you walk down the street. And really, I mean, you're taking this, and it's for health for the body and the spirit. And 2, my second question is this, are people able to get this somewhere? I mean, we're over in the United States. Is there people able to get it here, or can you order it already created and made, or how is this ability to get to this medicine possible for someone?
Your best bet, because the Vegetal, the UDD church that was set up in Brazil, has branches in the States, and they got raided by the DEA and arrested, and it went to the courts, and unfortunately for them, they picked the wrong person to raid, because the man that's in charge of the UDD in the United States, his family owns Seagram's, and they have a lot of money, so they have the best attorneys in the world. And they went to court. They won in federal court 3 times, and the U.S. government took them to the Supreme Court, and they won in the Supreme Court as well. And the same thing happened with the Sons of Dami in Oregon. They got raided too, and they won their case also. So if you're looking for a place to do ayahuasca, I would search out one of the churches, because that's legal.
And what's the name
and their name again?
The Una de Vegetal, which is called UDV, and then the Sons of Dami. And there's branches around the United States as well as in Europe as well. So that's to be safe. That's the place to go. Yeah.
Right.
There's also a whole lot of underground people running ceremonies, and you have to search out and find out who's doing it. I really don't think the federal government wants to bother with this anymore, because they've spent so much money trying to prosecute, and they've lost every time.
Well, thank goodness. I mean, the healing power alone in this is magnificent. I mean, to heal the cancers like that, there's a lot of people out there that need something like this.
And there's a lot of people out there who just want to have an experience of, a mystical experience, and it sounds like this is a way to do it. And as you mentioned, Alan, this is never going to be a street drug, because it's just too much work. This isn't what people who want street drugs are going to choose. So this is truly a mystical experience or a healing experience for people. Now, this vine, as I've looked at pictures of it, it just looks so incredibly tough and sturdy. It's huge is how it grows in your neck of the woods here in the world. But can it be grown in the United States?
Well, yeah, especially in the temperate climates like Miami and in the southern states. And if it gets chilly, you want to just cover it with some plastic to make sure it's okay. But it grows as far north as Panama naturally. And right now there's Charipunga, which is the leaf, which is growing in greenhouses in Moscow, and it's been growing for about 14 years. So in Moscow, they're actually doing ayahuasca ceremonies from this land. Yeah. And
that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I think that you can actually grow it, but to get a live plant is very difficult. Shipping a live plant out of here is illegal, and it get caught in customs. So, but you can look online. Maybe people have some seeds, especially with the ayahuasca vine. There should be seeds, and there's seeds of Psychotria chakra leaf too. You can buy that. And given the right care and light and humidity, of course, it'll grow. Yeah.
And I would think if you are growing this yourself, obviously you have to live in a climate that supports it, or have a greenhouse or something. Then you develop a relationship with this plant. So absolutely. I would think that's a good thing. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's spirits in the plants. Mm-hmm. They teach magic songs. And if you get the right spirit and you're not hallucinating and you're dieting it correctly, you will see the spirit and it will teach you its magic songs. So with all the plants. So if you wanted to use, for example, cat's claw, which we talked about already, if you diet that plant and you get the true Icaro, the song, the special song from it, instead of giving people the plant itself to take for an illness they have, if you have the right song, you sing the song, and it has the same effect as if giving them the plant.
That's beautiful. That must be why you weren't an artist in your family. You were the music man in your family. That's right.
That's right.
That was your path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
beautiful.
I know that. Yeah.
Another.
I have two beautiful children. One just had a birthday on the 14th, and my daughter Claire is 15, and my son Liam will be 16 on the 18th. They were born 1 year and 4 days apart.
Oh.
Which I was hoping for Irish twins, but just missed that. But, yeah, they're lovely. They're teenagers, and they don't give me any problems. I can't believe it.
You are a lucky man.
Don't cause me problems.
Yes. Well, happy birthday to them.
Yes.
Hey, I'm divorced too, so.
Do they love living in Peru?
Oh, God, they were born here. My ex-wife is from here. We've been divorced for 4 years. The kids live with me. Yeah. And, yeah, we're very happy here. We have 9 dogs.
How many?
Wow. 9.
9.
Oh, good for you. Isn't that great? Oh, my goodness. Well, it sounds like you have an idyllic... Oh, it sounds like you have an idyllic life there, which is wonderful. Let me ask you another question to go back to this fascinating topic. Now, you talk about brujos. What is a brujo, and how does that compare to being a shaman or a curandero?
Well, it's like, your Darth Vader.
So the brujo is the Darth Vader.
Yeah, the brujo's they're like working on the negative area. And so, but the more you believe that stuff, the more you're susceptible to it. So when Valentin taught me about brujos, he says there's not a brujo in the whole valley because of him. He's like pure white light. And they can't handle being around him. So when people come here and they talk about brujos, negative energy, and being scared about people shooting with magic darts and stuff like that, I just it's like brushing lint off your shoulder. Just by you literally being awake and sitting up in ceremony and not opening yourself up to everything. There's enough energy to keep that negative energy away from you. And so, but people still get scared because people have compounds here and they want to tell them that, you only come back here to us because we're safe and there's brujos everywhere. And they come to my office and I talk to them about that. And I said, look, the brujo is just like that kind of energy. It's so low level that you just having your eyes open is enough to keep it away from you. It's like brushing lint off your shoulders. However, there is one brujo that's serious. And then I whistle and call in my dog, and his name is Brujo. Brujo, come here. This is the brujo here. That's my dog.
So a brujo, though, would be also akin to using like dark magic or dark witchcraft or something like that?
Yeah. As opposed to a sorcerer, because a sorcerer is also a good healer, too. But in sorcery, in shamanism, you want to, get your ego out of the way so you're a hollow bone, so you can get fed energy from the spirit world. In sorcery, what you do is you want to empower your ego so it's huge, so you have your power that way. But it's not about brujerismo. Brujos work when people want they want their boyfriend to come back, or they want to make more money, or they want someone stole something from them and they want to do danger to them, damage to them. They go to a brujo, and he'll do that stuff. So the person that had done these things, whether it's the boyfriend, the ex-wife, or whatever it is, if they're susceptible to believing in that kind of power, then certainly, yes, things can happen to them, especially if they've heard that some brujerismo had been done against them. So it's one of the folkloric superstitions here, which I don't abide with, but most of the people do here. That's just what they grew up with.
Sure. Well, and also I would think that kind of thing could affect people who are vastly unconscious. They could easily be affected by that, whether they believed in it or not, couldn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, they're very susceptible to it. They're open to anything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Those people you need to keep away from. That whole idea is to keep them more close to your side, so they don't get fed a lot of the stuff you get fed when you come here to Iquitos. This is the mecca for ayahuasca in the world.
I see.
You take people through this ceremony yourself now.
I do, but not here.
Mm-hmm.
I've done many ceremonies in Europe, States, and Canada, and for years. But when people come here, I have like Vine of the Soul intensives, like 6 days and 6 nights, and 3 ceremonies of ayahuasca and 1 ceremony of San Pedro, optional if you want it. And in the Vine of the Soul ceremonial chapel, the ceremonies are run by a friend of mine, an old teacher of mine, Adela Navis. She's 79 years old, and she's spry as a spring kitten. She's incredible. She's been doing it since she was 11 years old. And so they come and say, I want to do a ceremony with you. And I said, actually, you don't. What do you mean? I've heard about you. I said, yeah, but look, you flew halfway around the world. You want to sit with me in my chapel out there. I'm going to blow smoke on you and shake leaves and sing Icaros. And that's fine. I know how to do that. But you come here, I prefer to give you to like Adela, who's 79 years old, or to an indigenous person. And then later on, when maybe I've got like silver hair and I'm like 80 years old and smoking a Apache pipe too, that's fine. But I don't like running ceremonies here. I prefer to give them to someone. And so Adela works with me and her son Jose as well. He's 48. And he's got the most beautiful Icaros, the magic songs he's singing during ceremony, that I've ever heard. He's absolutely incredible. She is too.
Oh,
They're
nice.
amazing.
Nice. Now, it sounds like that this whole ceremony and the power of this plant, it also has anti-aging properties.
Well, people look at me and I'm 60 and they say I'm 40. So I don't know if that's genetics or if the ayahuasca, I don't know.
No, healthiest person on earth.
See, now, Becky, we got to get some of this if it's anti-aging.
Yeah, we got to.
You know that.
Okay, we got to go visit Alan.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, I can take you to a Botox person who can do this like 10% of what you pay in the States.
Oh, see?
Wow.
Well, I'd rather do that instead of Botox, so I'm all for it. This is so many fascinating aspects to this medicine. And, again, the name of your book, for everybody listening, is Ayahuasca Medicine, the Shamanic World of Amazonian Sacred Plant Healing. And it's available on Amazon.com. Now, Alan, you talk about San Pedro. That is another type of psychotropic plant. Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, that's from the north of Peru, and now it's migrated to Cusco because there's so many tourists there. They see as many tourists in 1 week as we see in 1 year here in Quitos because of Machu Picchu. So there's the ayahuasca shamans are called huachumeras. They're drinking. It's called also huachuma. And so you can go there to various places and drink San Pedro. It's an incredible ceremony. Instead of lasting like 3 or 4 hours maximum like ayahuasca, it lasts like 10 to 12. And it's mescaline-based instead of like DMT and beta-carotene. And the best way I can describe it for people that have had like ecstasy, it's like an herbal ecstasy. It's hard to miss on San Pedro. I can send people out to my chapel, which is up the Rio Italia, about 20 minutes from Iquitos. Beautiful place. The bathroom's tiled, shower, in the jungle, with a guard there, a guardian and his family. Alone, they don't need to have someone with them because it's so kind. And I highly recommend it. It's incredible medicine as well. I have a friend here that came down from New York. He was a heroin addict, and he was taking some other kind of lozenges under the sun that was given by a doctor to stop the craving for wanting heroin. And after he drank ayahuasca, he was a lot better. When he drank San Pedro, and he's completely done.
Oh,
wow!
So he's off the heroin for good.
Yeah.
Cured.
So,
look at that.
So it also has. I'm sorry, Becky. Go ahead.
I don't understand
very visual as well.
Why the United States will not allow that into the United States. I mean, to have this freely and out and open, and people, it could cure so many people. I'm just amazed that your book just was wonderful. I mean, seeing this out there and knowing about these plants, and this should be everywhere for people, access for people to have this everywhere. I can't understand why they try to stop it. It's just so
you know,
sad.
And, if you want to look at the human being in evolutionary Darwinism terms, that we came from monkeys, which I don't personally believe, but if you want to look at it that way, the only way I could see that evolution would happen would be that monkeys on all fours on the ground found magic mushrooms and ate those, and from that they started standing up.
Yeah, it stood right up after that, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And never went down again. Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
Oh, my. Well, again, there's just so many aspects of this. If it can cure addiction, if it can offer a cure for serious illness, and again, mystical experience, which connects us to the whole instead of seeing things in such a segmented manner, then there's just so many positives to this whole experience. Now, have you seen an upsurge of people coming to Peru and Ecuador for this kind of experience?
Oh, incredible. Look, when I came here 22 years ago, there was no one coming here to do this except for Peter Gorman, who's now my best friend, and he'd come down like a few years before, but he was coming back and forth because he was writing for High Times magazine. Mm-hmm. And I was living on dirt floors with my teacher, with only Peruvians coming in. And now, after about 3 years, I took my teacher to Amsterdam. I was the first one to take someone out of here to do ceremonies anywhere else. And now these shamans are flying all over the world doing ceremonies, and people are coming down, and there's compounds that are built, and you can pay. A lot of people say, okay, well, this compound costs like $3,000 for 12 days, and this one's like $2,000, and this one's $600. So we have money. I think this $3,000 program would be better. So there's compounds that are absolutely incredible, way overbuilt, but beautiful. And so you can buy your comfort level, more or less. It's still the tip of the iceberg. And it was about 13 years ago, I was talking to the police, and they said, Alan, we think that on any given Friday night, because the typical nights for the Peruvians to drink is Tuesday and Friday, and that's been traditional for years. On any given Friday night, 10% of the population here is drinking ayahuasca. When I got here, there were 200,000 people here. That's 20,000 people. But right now, in the period of 23 years, there's 500,000 people here. Oh. So the ayahuasca people, the gringos coming from Europe and the States and Australia, they are literally a drop in the bucket to how much ayahuasca is going on. On every given block here, you're going to have an ayahuasquero that's drinking traditionally in the back of his house on a dirt floor, and you hear the motor cars go by, and you hear the music from the disco, down the street. And that's really the way it's typically been done. And now people have turned it into a business, and they built lodges so you can drink in peace out in the jungle and hear the birds and the frogs. And it's beautiful. So, and it's going to keep it the tip of the iceberg.
Wow. So it's increased dramatically, it sounds like, and which is very interesting.
Absolutely.
I'm sure for both reasons, the mystical part of it as well as the health part of it. Now,
exactly.
So San Pedro is something that you take, basically it's not a combination thing with ayahuasca, it's a standalone?
Yeah, it's taken just by itself.
Just by itself. Okay, and then it's ayahuasca that you look to combine with a couple of other things, possibly chacruna or something like that.
Yeah, chacruna or charipanga, both leaves, either one, or sometimes together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it requires two. Yeah.
So this is something you really need to know what you're doing when you start combining these things. It's nothing to just take lightly, and I guess that's why you said people need to have training like you do, and how to make this stuff. I mean, how do you make this stuff? Do you cook it for a long period of time?
Well, they'll boil it down for like 12 hours. So the first boil off will take like 3.5, and they get the extract from that. And they turn all the plants over in the pot and put water back in, and they boil it down again, and put that with the other stuff they poured off, and they do it 3 times. And it takes about 12, 14 hours. But and there's other tricks to it. It's not just that so easy. But tourists come, and they walk into the medicinal plant market, and inevitably someone's going to say, hey, I've got ayahuasca, and there's got a bottle there, like an empty rum bottle or whatever, and it's marked with ayahuasca, and they buy it. The problem is that you don't know what's actually been cooked, how they cooked it. And so people that don't know how to cook, to make sure that people get a visionary effect, they will add a lot of datura. And that's, here it's called Toei. But datura, it's the long bell-shaped flowers, beautiful, smell incredible. Renuncia family. And that stuff is really dangerous. That's what people do a lot in India, and they overdose, and they can die, go into a coma. Well, when they come back, they're never the same again. So they can get overdosed on that really easy. So you don't want to buy anything from someone you don't know.
No, well, that's common sense. So, but that's also good advice. So anybody going there should stay away from the open market when it comes to purchasing things where they really don't know who made this, how they made it, and what's exactly in it. So, yeah, because it can be dangerous. It's, simple chemistry. If you're mixing the wrong things together, it can have a bad effect.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Now, how does ayahuasca compare to LSD? Because that was so big back in the 60s as a consciousness buster kind of a thing. How does it compare to that?
Well, I was so lucky because I was invited to a conference to speak in Basel, Switzerland, and one of the lead speaker, the head speaker, was Albert Hoffman. So a friend of mine from Amsterdam, after the conference, brought him. We spoke that night, both of us. He brought him to me at a little bar, and sat across the table from Albert and started talking about medicines and things, and had a great time. We drank a lot of beers. We got pretty kind of wasted a little bit, not too much. So it was okay. And had a beautiful time with him. He's a good friend of mine. But my first thing I ever did out of high school when I went to university was probably within the first couple of weeks. Someone gave us some LSD, and I took that, and I was absolutely stunned. It's incredible. But what you have with LSD, you have pure hallucinations as far as what you're seeing, but you can have incredible insight of what your mind will be thinking of because you'll think on things you've never thought of before. For example, like Bill Gates and what's his name from Apple that died? They got the ideas for computers, from doing LSD, as well as a few Nobel Peace Prize winners that were doing LSD when they came up with various formulas and ideas too. So it's a mind expander, and I completely recommend it. But do it in the right way. Not in a party way. It's in the right set and setting. And it's non-addictive, as well as ayahuasca, San Pedro, all the sacred power plants are non-addictive. They are not. You don't have withdrawal if you don't get any more. It's medicine. And so
also from everything you've explained, starting with the amount of work it takes to cook this, the amount of time it takes, that you have to know what you're doing. I mean, all of these things are deterrents, I would think, for the average drug addict. It's just not something that someone would do casually or do to get just a high to get away from themselves. This is an inner journey.
Yeah, it would heal them, and then they'd no longer be a drug addict.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put it out on the street, huh? They could heal all the drug addicts.
Maybe this is what should be on every corner here, and discourage these people from the quick fix they think they're getting, and bring them in touch with their...
maybe you could walk into you could walk into 7-Eleven instead of grabbing your Coca-Cola. You could grab a bottle of ayahuasca and just drink that.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
I'll tell you what, I have got some great ideas here, don't we?
That's true. I heard also, is there a school there that's going on, a school that you can go to for this? A form of schooling? Is there a school, a form of a school that you can go to learn about these plants?
Well, there used to be a school, and they would send people off to diet in the jungle for like 40 days and 40 nights, and then you drink ayahuasca, and they would give you a certificate. And this was back when I first got here, and that was for the Peruvians, and that's Coco Sound. So like there are ways to come down and do it, but it's like so far now gone into it that it's expensive. If you want to come down and work with in a comfortable area in a compound that's been built, and you have your own cabin, and they're feeding you, and I mean, there's a lot of upkeep on these cabins, and you have people that work there. They have families and their kids that go to school, so they have good salaries. So people thinking they can come down here for nothing, and you can't do that. Or they say, I'll come down, I'm a carpenter. But there's carpenters here that you pay them $25 a day. That's about $9, and they're excellent. So I say, yeah, I'm sure you're a great carpenter, but you know, I've got that already. You know, so it's really difficult. So you have places where you can volunteer instead of paying, say, $3,000 a month. Maybe you pay $1,000. They give you a place to live, and you take ceremonies when you're doing like planting vegetable gardens or like repairing roofs and that kind of stuff too. But they'll put you to work. So there's ways to do it, so it doesn't cost you so much money.
I see.
Yeah, so you can barter, I guess, to come down and have this experience. What is the time frame that when people come down to have this experience, what do they plan for? A week, 2 weeks, a month? What is the general time frame for this?
Well, what we have, like at Sign of the Soul Intensives, we have what's called it's a 6-day and night intensive. So there's 3 ceremonies with ayahuasca and 1 with San Pedro, and then you can do them back to back. And if you do that, there's like a $200 discount. So we charge like $600 for 1 intensive. If you do 2, there's a $200 discount, so you pay $1,000. We're one of the low end, and we only take 8 people, whereas other camps out there that take like 30 people, and they charge like $2,500 to $4,000. And imagine vomiting and defecating and going through your stuff that you need to go through with 30 other people doing the same thing. It's kind of like
it doesn't sound like a happy time to me.
No,
I don't think it's for me, Becky.
Yeah, I know. But for some people, a cure of a disease or something that people say you're incurable, I mean, it would be worth every penny and every moment, of hee-ho and,
Yeah, I agree, and I think, though, that what Alan's making a good and very fair point, that you'd probably want to go through that with a smaller group of people rather than,
it would probably be comfortable. Yeah, more
comfortable.
I
think you'd be much more comfortable, and that's what I meant, that it wouldn't be for me to be with like 30 people. That would not be good.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, me too. I'm there with you. All right.
Yeah. Okay, Alan, we're on. Yeah. We're on for the smaller group.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you're exposing a lot of your own personal innermost feelings, and so, with like 7 or 8 people, that's enough. With 30, it's just too much. But
yeah,
I have some people that come in
tribe.
From being in programs for 30 people, and they're very happy with what they got too. But then they can't compare it with a group with like 8 people because they didn't do a group with 8 people. So, and they're paying a lot of money, so they want to have like a positive experience out of it, and they get that too.
Now, you mentioned in your book also that when there is a time sometimes when people are having this experience together in a group, and they'll have the same vision at the same moment.
Yeah, go figure that one out.
Yeah.
When I first got here,
I
was introduced to the dean of chemistry at the National University here, and he was very much into ayahuasca. And they take me to his lab and I meet him, and he's cooking down all these pots of ayahuasca. And I said, "What are you doing this for?" He said, "Well, I'm trying to figure out how it is that I'm with other people in the ceremony, and we're having the same vision at the same time, seeing the same thing." And I said, "Well, you're going to not discover this in a lab." So, yeah, and it's pretty incredible. It's happened several times. And people talk about it the next morning. "Oh my God, you saw that?" "Yeah, I saw the same thing." Yeah. So
they must have all been at a certain level when they were opening up spiritually and seeing everything within that level. You think?
Could be. Could be the same vibrational pattern.
Yes.
It makes sense, Becky, what you're saying, because Becky and I do work with Helene Olson also, and all 3 of us sometimes will see the same thing at the same time, and so that's not unusual for us. But we're not drinking ayahuasca. I need to say that we're just working together because that's what we do. But we can have that experience. But I just found it also equally fascinating that people in the ceremony, the ayahuasca ceremony, would have that same experience. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the wildlife there, do you ever have the wildlife come close to the groups when they're doing their ceremony? Does the wildlife kind of keep their distance?
No, never had that experience. But I have raised a couple of like ocelots from baby size.
Oh.
And they're incredible. You leave the toilet seat up, and they always go to water to use the bathroom, so if you leave the toilet seat up, they'll go there. And they know their name. They come like a dog when you call them. But I had to draw the line at when Dooley got old enough, he was a male, we went to sleep, me and my wife went to sleep, and she was face down on the bed. And the next thing I hear is, Alan, help me. And I look over, and he's got his teeth in her neck, and he's mounting her. I'm like, that's not nice. So I locked him in the kitchen, and then about a week later, we take him way upriver, and we stayed there for a week. And he would leave at night like cats do, and come back in the morning and sleep, and then leave again, come back and sleep. And after like 3 nights of doing this, he didn't come back again. So I think he found this like female out there somewhere.
Good. Well, that was a very nice thing for you to do.
Yeah.
Well, that was the ultimate thing I'm supposed to do. I'm sitting at a restaurant in town. This guy comes up to me, and he's got a baby ocelot, lays it on my table, and it's very docile, absolutely beautiful. He wanted like 20 soles, which is like $7. So I said, okay, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't do this, but yeah, I'll take care of it. So I've raised it, and eventually let it go back in the jungle.
That's wonderful.
So, no.
Yeah, that is.
Animals there's never been a problem with that. But from time to time, there's like some snakes around, and that's why normally people don't have grass on their in their yards. They cut the grass and they go out and sweep the clay every day, because smaller snakes like a nakanaka, which is a coral snake, it's very tiny. You can't see it, and it's very deadly. So, and they cut the grass typically. We don't, but there's no snakes in our area so far. I've had the chapel there for like 12 years. No snake problem.
Oh, well, that's good that you're a snake-free zone. That's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is not to say there's a lot of tarantulas around, but when I had my friend Richard with me, and I can see my passengers are getting a little bit bored of sitting in the hammock when the days I'm not drinking ayahuasca, I said, Richard, go out and get us a tarantula. And he comes back in 15 minutes. He's got 2 tarantulas on his shoulders, and he passes them around because they're very passive. And to make them bite you, they really have to like irritate them. And they don't bite; they sting you. And a sting from a tarantula is about like a bee sting. So they're really cool. They look just so scary with all those hairy legs, and they're really scary looking. They're big, but they're not dangerous.
Oh, well, that's
I used to have a pet tarantula named Charlie.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I wanted to get over a fear of spiders, so I got myself a pet tarantula named Charlie, and I was over my fear of spiders after that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, you're amazing.
I like to face my fears. Yeah, when I was finally over my fear, I gave Charlie away to someone that loved tarantulas, and he had a good old home. Yeah.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah, face your fear. Yeah.
Well, I have some more
I've got my
questions.
turtle here, but he's retarded.
Oh.
Oh, there might be too many out there. I don't know how my fears would get out there if I seen a bunch of them everywhere.
Yeah, that might be overwhelming.
Yeah, I'd probably fall off the wagon. That would be it. I'd be fearful again. I'd have to go get me another pet tarantula. Get over it again.
That's right. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you one up in a box. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Lordy. Thank you, but no thank you. I want some ayahuasca instead. Send me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more like
you.
it.
I know it's safe.
That's right.
Well, you can buy the plants to make it yourself in your house on the internet. There's like 100 dealers out there. You just look for them, and you buy the vine, and you buy the leaf, and you cook it up. It's not really difficult. However, it should be done in a sacred way, and you have to realize that these plants are all called like peyote and mushrooms and ayahuasca and San Pedro. and iboga. They are the sacred power plants. And for many years, people referred to them as psychedelics because that was the word we had. So there was a meeting of the mind, and a new word was invented. And all these plants are called entheogens, and it's a Greek word, and it means realizing the divine within, instead of referring to them as psychedelics or drugs.
Mm.
So you give them a
much
respect,
better.
cook it up, clean your space, and you are, the divine within is you. You are your own shaman. We are all our own shaman, and that's where the place where you want to get to. So many people
Now,
come down here and they're like bowing down to shamans.
Is it legal?
You are your shaman.
Is it? But Alan, is it actually legal for, even if, let's say, I mean, obviously Becky and I are not members of this church, but is it legal for us to purchase the vine online and have it sent to us, and then is that a legal thing to do?
Yeah.
I've heard that every
legal.
state could be different with these laws. It can be very confusing.
It's completely legal to buy it.
Uh-huh.
But at the point when you start extracting it, you're turning it into like what the governments would call a drug. And you're extracting it to use the DMT. And so that technically would be at the point where it's illegal to do.
Mm-hmm. I
But
see.
the plants are not illegal.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can purchase it. That's the legal part
For
of it.
instance,
All
if
right.
you can have California poppies lining your driveway, and if the DEA pulls up and says, "Hey," and you're out there gardening and taking care of your flowers, "Hey, you know what these plants are?" "Yeah, they're poppies." "You know what they're for?" And you say, "Yeah," you could probably be arrested.
Really?
If you say, "I don't know," then yeah, probably could be arrested.
And
that
that
would
would
be
go
just, I mean, they're just a beautiful flower as far as most people are concerned. But,
yeah, anything that's mind-altering in the United States and various other countries, it's mind-altering because they're controlling your minds with fluoride in the water and in your toothpaste and in your mouthwash and in the water that you drink, in the water that you shower. When you take your
everything,
bath, you soak in it.
shampoos,
So they can
food.
control your brain. So anything that will open you up to understanding that is illegal.
no coincidence there, is there?
Yeah.
No.
You know, and then a lot of people don't know about this, but fluoride really does have a deleterious effect on your pineal gland, and that's
Absolutely.
important. You want your pineal gland to be functional, and it's not if you have fluoride in your water and in your toothpaste that you're using every day. Then it has the potential to damage the pineal gland, right?
It turns it into a rock.
Oh my.
Well, I call that damage. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it stops functioning. If it gets hard as a rock, it can't work the way it's supposed to as a doorway.
Is there anything
Yeah,
that can open
that's,
that better? After all this fluoride saturated it?
Well, get yourself off of it, for one thing. You can use filters from your faucet in the kitchen for water that removes the fluoride.
Mm-hmm.
All of Europe has now banned fluoride except for, I think, Ireland. And several communities in some states in the United States have also banned it. It's come up for votes in other states, and the powers that be decide not to ban it, but they continue doing it, and it's dumbing down the people, and it's done purposefully. It's an awful situation.
It is. Now I've also heard that skate liver oil is something that people can take that will help reverse the damage of fluoride.
Really?
So,
what kind of oil?
Skate. It's spelled like skate, S-K-A-T-E, liver oil. It's a certain kind of fish, and it is available. I've seen it for sale online, especially from one store whose name escapes me, but I do know that it is available online, and you can have it delivered. But I've heard that particular oil has some properties that will help reverse fluoride damage in the pineal gland.
Well, I didn't know that skate would be like a ray, a type of ray of fish, like a manta ray.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of fish this is, but I guess it's there's something about this oil, and there is one company. I'll try to find it and put it in the newsletter for next week, so people can be made aware of it if they want to purchase it. They can, and I only know of one company that sells it, so I'll try to find that, and like I said, I'll put that in the newsletter for everybody. But I've got more questions. I know, Becky, you do too, but let's take another short commercial break. Stay tuned, everybody. We will be right back.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With Cosmic Fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless. Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion, www.KOSMICfusion.com, to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Bonjour, this is Veronique Raskin, founder of the Organic Wine Company. As one of the pioneers of the organic wine movement, since 1980, I have brought you the very best and most authentic organic wines directly to your table. I work with small family estates who grow certified organic grapes and produce exceptional wines. You can purchase our wines individually from our website at theorganicwinecompany.com or join one of our wine clubs. Our organic wines are perfect for you and for your family as gifts for friends and relatives, and they are simply spectacular for the holidays. Visit us at theorganicwinecompany.com to enjoy the very best organic wines conveniently delivered to your door. I am Veronique Raskin, passionate about my mission. I offer to you vegan, organic, and biodynamic wines, wines made by people of the heart, wines with a heart. Au revoir. Call us at 1-888-ECO-WINE.
Welcome back, everybody. We are speaking with our great guest tonight, a terrific guest, Alan Shoemaker. He is the author of Ayahuasca Medicine, The Shamanic World of Amazonian Sacred Plant Healing. The book is available on Amazon.com. And let's see, from the chat room, we have a couple of links. People are sending in all kinds of links. One is decalcifypinealgland.com, which has all kinds of information on how to help the pineal gland heal from fluoride exposure. Another one, humansarefree.com, which also has information on how to clean up the pineal gland. So, anyways, I will continue to post these for people who are interested in the newsletter. So make sure, everybody, that you are signed up to receive our newsletter at supernaturalgirls.com, and make sure you have subscribed, and we will get out our newsletter to you. It happens every week. We have new information and all kinds of announcements about the shows, so make sure you sign up. And Alan, thank you for calling back in. I see you got dropped from the board, but you called right back. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
That happens sometimes. So, anyways, now I have a question about Gina. You had quite an experience with her, and you write about it in great detail in your book, but I'm not quite, how did this happen? Can you tell our listeners a little bit about this adventure with her? And she was seeing all kinds of spirits and things that you weren't seeing, but then it got very complicated and a little scary.
Yeah, that for me was like the first time dealing with some dark energies, and of course her name's not Gina. I changed the name. And she was. I went to a camp with a very well-known curandero, and he left me to camp and gave me the bottle of ayahuasca, and he said, "Alan, this is black ayahuasca. Black not meaning a negative. Black just that's when you start cooking it, the color is black. And there's red also, and there's thunder, which is tornado thunder. There's lightning. There's so many types, like 27 varieties. This one was black, which is the strongest. He said, so be careful with this." So I gave her a glass, and we had a ceremony, and all of a sudden she's like walking around the room. She's opening doors which don't exist, and she's walking over to the kitchen and getting food and coming back. She's holding an imaginary tray in her hand. Are you hungry? And I'm like, yeah, okay, give that to me. And then finally, she said, "There's some people in the back there that are bothering me." And I looked back there, and I could see some like dark figures. And so I did some just like get out of here and just energy, and they disappeared. But that's the first time I'd ever dealt with that kind of stuff. And the next day we talked about it, and she couldn't remember most of it. But it was an incredible experience, and so.
But why do you think it happened that way? Because it sounds like it really was a unique thing. It didn't. This is not something that would usually happen.
I think it's because of the camp that I used, and the guy that left me at camp, he works in like dark energy sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there tells us again, don't take anything unless you know who made it.
Absolutely.
Right? Lesson well learned.
Yeah. Do you think that there were things in there besides the ayahuasca? Do you think he combined that other plant you mentioned, the datura?
No, because the ceremony only lasted like 3.5, 4 hours. So, no, that tour will take you like 10 or 12. So, no, he didn't do that.
It was his energy.
So, and I don't know how to explain that, but there was a situation that happened, so I just reported, and as a good journalist would do. And so, I don't know why.
And you were not affected by it.
So,
you were not affected by it in the same way as Gina was affected by it quite differently than you were. And thank God you were not as affected that way.
Absolutely, but she's smaller than me, so the dose I gave her was the same dose I took. So she actually got a really strong dose for her. Sure.
Oh, I see.
So
are those your dogs that we're listening to? All 9 of them?
Yes, yeah.
They're voicing their opinion, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they're just outside, so when other dogs go by or people go by, they bark. They're mostly Pekingese, really tiny. I've got a mother that just had 8 puppies, but they're all promised already because my kids go to a private Catholic school, and so their friends come by, and they're all promised, so they'll all be raised pretty well.
They'll go to good homes. Gosh.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are the most beautiful paintings in your book, and this seems to be typical of the very vivid and colorful visions that people have when they take this magical vine. They're just gorgeous.
Exactly. Yeah, and these friends of mine allowed me to, like Anderson DiBernardi and Mauro, put their paintings inside the book. There's 8 pages full color, and on the front cover is Anderson DiBernardi's vision, Ayahuasca vision. They all studied with Pablo Amaringo at the Usco Iwar School in Bucalco. It's a visionary painting school. And if there's painters out there and you want to paint this kind of stuff, there's a place to train to do this. And Pablo now has passed away, and Anderson absolutely was his finest student. He's incredible. And so he gave me the painting for the front cover as well as the other paintings to put inside the book, so did Marlo too. And I love them. I have, at the conference, I have like probably 10 artists come in from Pucallpa and Iquitos and Lima, people that are visionary painters. I give them space to tell their art. I do it every year. And original paintings, they're incredible.
That's wonderful.
They are just beautiful, really beautiful. I mean, just looking at them, you feel like you could be drawn into this other world and have a wonderful experience. I mean, that's what true art does for you anyways, but these are just magnificent. I mean, your book is so well written and very exciting to read, and it's also worth it to get your book to see these beautiful paintings.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
I have to say about your dogs, too. Could you tell the story about your dog that sat outside and guarded the door and would go and consume some of this, medicine, and then his hair started, around his eyes, his hair was going, losing his hair. I read that twice. I was so surprised to see that in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, his name was Buddha.
That's a fitting name.
He was really cool. I needed some company, and so, my girlfriend from Holland had gone back to the States. We split up. I went over to see her a few times, and we were just friends. And so I had this dog. His name was Buddha, and he would be in ceremonies all the time. And so when people would go outside to throw up, these were Peruvians a long time ago, and he would eat their vomit. And then we're back in the ceremony, and all of a sudden, Buddha's like barking crazily out in the yard, and Juan looks at me, and I go check on Buddha, and he's standing there in the yard he's like tripping, seeing something, which I'm not seeing, and he's barking, so he's like drinking all this ayahuasca. Everyone goes out and that's throwing up the ayahuasca.
Oh, my God.
So then he started losing his hair, and I got this knowing that I put my saliva on this, like, places where he was losing his hair, and it would cure it. And I did that, and it worked. And that's the way it's like shamanism. It's a big world here. It's not just ayahuasca. For example, my friend Bill came down. He'd been here before, and he went back home to Minnesota, and his uncle had incurable prostate cancer, level 7, I think. And so he did a fundraiser campaign on Facebook and raised money, and so his friends all put in money, and he came down here, and I took him to this doctor here, and he's an MD, and he does medicinal plant extracts injected intramuscularly, and so I'm there translating, and he stayed here for a week, and he did the injections. We bought the rest of the medicine to go home, and after a period of 6 weeks of doing it in his house, and ran out of medicine, he went back into the doctor. He had lost about 60 pounds, really happy, and there's no trace of cancer in his body. And that's without ayahuasca.
Wow. See? The miracles of the plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question
so the
about...
plants that he gave him... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's my question. I understand the benefit of doing this in a ceremonial situation and all of the purging, that, all of that. But what if you just wanted to drink a cup of ayahuasca tea in the morning? I mean, you wouldn't necessarily make it as strong as you would for ceremony. Do people do that, and is there any benefit to that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like microdosing. Yeah. It's the same thing as like homeopathy. You can take just a little bit, like a drop in a glass of water. Your body will react the same way, but you won't get any kind of trippy effects. But your body will respond to it as a medicine. Yeah. And people do that a lot with iboga, too. Iboga's incredible.
What is that?
You know about iboga?
No.
Iboga is a plant that comes from Africa that the Wiki tribe and other tribes use. It's a coming-of-age thing that they give them because by the time you're like 13 years old, you're in school, you get known as the clown or the intellectual or the idiot or the retard or whatever it is, and you get labeled. And if you don't change those labels in that village or small community, you're going to grow with that for the rest of your life. It'll be with you forever. So what they learned to do for hundreds of years is give them the iboga plant, and iboga is incredibly psychotropic. They paint their faces, and they do this ceremony ritualistically, and they give them iboga over a period of like a couple of days, as I understand it. And the ancestors come to them, and they explain to them why they are, and who they are. It's like putting your life up on a chalkboard up to the time you're 13 years old, and then you take an eraser and just mark it off, and then everyone starts all over again, fresh and free from any labels. And there's the United States government has an iboga clinic off the coast of Florida on one of the islands. It's run by Dr. Deborah Mash, and it's been there for like 20-some years. But iboga is technically illegal in the States, but the United States government is studying it. They made it illegal because, of course, it cures addictions. So someone with a heroin addiction can do iboga, and 70% of the people will be cured. The recidivism rate is very low, especially if you do it the second time. The problem with drugs and getting off using sacred power plants is that you have a tendency to go back to the same area, lifestyle, and friends that you had before, and they're all addicts. So it's really easy to fall back into your same patterns you had before. But if you do it like 2 times, the recidivism rates drop really low. And that's another one of the sacred power plants, which is non-addictive.
That's amazing.
It's illegal.
So people actually
like
experience
marijuana,
it.
you see this now. Marijuana is an incredible plant. Do you think it was illegal because it changed the mindsets of people? No. It's illegal because it cures so many things. So the pharmaceutical industry made it absolutely sure that the government, via money, would make this plant illegal. But now we see what's happening. Several states have made it legal, medical marijuana. There's so many people writing about studies they've done showing how it cures cancers in so many different ways. And people are waking up. It's going to be a great enlightenment. It's happening right now.
Because they're taking it to the most natural source instead of having all this junk pumped into it and making them into pills.
Chemicals, yeah.
Yeah, chemicals, right.
You know, I'm surprised that somebody hasn't tried to turn this ayahuasca vine into a drug. Or maybe they have.
Well, I don't know how you do that, so...
I don't know.
I mean,
Like they synthesize a lot. They take a lot of things
addicted.
from the rainforest and they synthesize it down to some common denominator and then turn it into a drug.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, there was a man that came down and in Ecuador, and he actually took the ayahuasca plant back, and he patented it.
Wow.
They gave him the patent. And as soon as it was patented, the people in Ecuador and in South America also, there was an uprising against it, and they took the patent away.
Oh, wow. How about that?
You cannot patent plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't patent plants.
Good.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, that's why the pharmaceutical industry made that law, too, because there's no money on them selling plants that we have access to. So you can't get a patent on it. They don't want to make that because they want to get a patent so only they can sell stuff. So I think everyone's like understanding the situation now.
Wow.
Well, it's really wonderful that people, if they want to have an experience, can come to you in Peru or go somewhere in Ecuador and be safe and experience this. And as you mentioned in your book, there's a lot of people who will profess to be shamans, who will profess to be someone to come to have this experience, and you have to be careful who you choose to work with on this. Because there are some motivated, like you said, by money. There are some that are really called to it.
The general rule is that if you ever hear of someone referring to himself as a shaman, you should just turn around and walk away.
Really?
Ah.
I didn't know that. Ah.
Because look, you want to play. If you want to play the game and you want to be like a curandero, ayahuasquero, or whatever you want to call it, that means getting your ego out of the way. But as soon as you hear someone saying I'm a shaman, that means the ego is directly in force. And so leave.
Oh, my goodness. We have to apologize. I apologize. I called you a shaman. I'm sorry.
I'm forever a student of the plants.
Yes, I do understand that, but I'm sorry, I did not understand that or know if someone is to be called a shaman, then turn around and run the other way. So, geez,
no,
I put that in writing.
If you refer to me that way, that's not a problem with that. But I would never refer to myself that way ever.
Okay, I see.
But people can't help it because they want to have a label for me. That's fine.
Yes.
But I can never refer to myself that way, no. Yeah.
Okay. I understand that then. I know because I wouldn't know what to say then, what you are or what to say. So that's true. It's a beautiful label, that someone can, introduce you as. But as yourself, I understand what you're saying. Yes. A student forever, right?
You have to keep yourself out of the way so you're a hormone. So you can't use labels like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I understand.
That makes sense.
Wow. Yeah.
It's also encouraging that not only can you heal yourself with this and other people if you really learn to listen to the spirit of the plant, but also animals. That's a really nice thing because how many times, Becky and I are big animal lovers, a lot of our audience members are, you have a pet that's not feeling well and you don't quite know what's going on. They can't talk to you and tell you what their symptoms are. So how wonderful to be able to talk to the spirit world or the spirits of the plants and get an answer to give them relief.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Hey, I've got a story for you if you want to hear this.
Yes.
Yes.
So, about a year and a half ago, I had this dog that we saved from the streets. She's like a Pekingese full-bred. And my daughter brought her in, and she was, burning up. So I sent her off to the vet to have some medicine. And the vet said she would have died by the morning. And we saved her. And she's kind of old, so I thought, well, she's female, but she's probably not going to go in heat again. But she did. And the maid made a mistake, and there were male dogs waiting outside on the street. Because all my dogs here are female. Anyway. So she gets pregnant, and then so one evening, about 11 o'clock at night, my daughter Claire runs in, puppy, puppy, puppy. She had a baby. I said, okay, that's fine. It's natural. Leave her alone. It's a natural process. And she comes in 5 minutes later. Puppy, puppy, puppy. There's one dog stuck halfway in, stuck halfway out. So I go there and I gently just pull, because she didn't have the muscles to push it out. So I pull this puppy out, and it's fine. It's okay. Leave her alone. Puppy, puppy, puppy. There's another one stuck. I go and I'm pulling him, and the dog is stuck, and it's not coming. And I can't squeeze the puppy anymore to get a better grip because it could break her bones. I'm like, this dog is, finally, after 2 minutes, I finally stick 2 fingers up inside to make some more room, and the dog slides out. And it's still got the little covering over its head, but it's dead. And I'm on my knees, and my kids are looking over my shoulders, and I'm sitting there oh no, don't do this to me. So I open up the covering over the head, and I'm trained in CPR. So here I am. I'm giving CPR to this dog. It's mostly just like a show for my children's. Hey, see, I'm doing whatever, and I'm also doing like heart massage with one finger on this little puppy. So after about a minute of doing this, this little puppy wakes up and goes, just like you see in a movie. Someone, and I couldn't believe it.
That's great.
Oh,
that was absolutely amazing. Yeah,
that's moving in faith.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is. It
that
sounds like
great.
your spirit guides were right with you on that one to help those poor little guys come out and be alive.
Now,
oh, my.
I've got people here that call me the dog whisperer now.
That's great. That's excellent.
Yes.
So I have another question about the ayahuasca vine. Now, we know that you can take it internally, and you can have these wonderful healing experiences in a ceremonial situation, and it's very intense. You can also drink it, as you said, almost homeopathically, 1 cup a day or whatever, and you still get health benefits from it. Is this also a type of botanical that you could use on wounds or irritations of the skin? Does it have any effect on that?
No, not at all. No. There's a whole lot of other plants for that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And as far as taking it like just divine, or even like divine and leaf cooked together, homeopathically, like 1 cup, when you drink it during the ceremony, you're drinking like maybe 1.5 ounces.
Oh, that's all.
You don't want to drink a cup.
Okay.
Good
to know.
Wow. That's
so
good to
ceremony,
know.
you only drink 1.5 ounces? That's it? That's small.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's powerful. So really, if you're going to drink a cup of it in the morning,
you want to do like a few drops in a glass of water to do it homeopathically.
That's all you need.
You're not going to get off on it, but it will kick in your immune system. Your body will respond to it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad you corrected that, because Becky and I would have been drinking a cup of this.
Yeah, we would have been flying.
We would have been out there.
That was good you asked
Absolutely.
that, Patricia. Yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes. That was another thing. Speak of flying, in your book, I was really interested in the part where I read about your first flight.
Oh, yeah.
In the spirit.
That absolutely stunned me, too, because Juan said, because I was there drinking ayahuasca like the first time without him, and I had my girlfriend there from Holland, and she's a nurse. She's a psychiatric nurse, so she's like, I'll watch you. And I'm like, I'm fine. But she didn't drink, so I drank a cup, and I'm singing Icaros and stuff, and so Juan, he can hear me, comes out and says, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm just drinking some ayahuasca, and something. Oh, yeah. Right. Well, so you think you're so clever. So look, the woman that's been here and we've been working on her, we've been healing her, she's not here now, so I want you to go find her. And I said, Juan, I can't go find her. I'm here in ceremony. He said, yeah, but so Valentine hasn't taught you everything yet, has he? I said, no. I said, look, you put her name on your third eye, on your forehead, and you think of nothing else. But it's really hard to do because you've got all these abstracts and fractals and spirits walking around and things, so you get you go off on tangents all the time. So you come back and I put her name there, and I'm like, okay, I'm holding it. And so finally I held it long enough, and all of a sudden, it's like in a meditative pose, and all of a sudden I'm like flying over the ground, like 10 meters over the ground, and I go directly to the plaza, the 28th of July. That's the Independence Day for Peru, 28th of July. There's a plaza in every town. There's that plaza, and there's like 500 people there, and I'm hovering with like a hummingbird or like some kind of flying animal that can do that kind of anyway. So and I see this couple, and they turn around, and they walk towards me, and I'm like, oh my God, you can't get excited, because I knew if I got excited, I would be right back in my body, and so I looked at her shoes, at his shoes, at his jeans, at her jeans with holes in the knees. I keep going up until, okay, I see her face, and as soon as I see her face, I'm like, yes, that's her. But that shock, that not being calm, It put me directly back in my body. And so the next day, we're having soup at his picnic table, and Juan says, so, did you find her last night? I said, yeah, Juan, and I'm looking at my soup, eating my soup. Yeah, I found her. So where was she? I said, well, she was at the 28th of July Plaza with her boyfriend. They were just like talking, walking around. He goes, okay. And I'm with the whole family there at this picnic table. So then about 10 minutes later, she comes walking in, sits down at the picnic table, and Juan's eating his soup, and I'm eating my soup. And he said, so, where'd you go last night? I said, oh, I just met my boyfriend in the 28th of July Plaza. We just like walked around and talked and stuff. So I just like, oh my God, I just keep eating my soup. Yeah.
Great experience. Oh my.
Yes. And have you flown since then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, many times. Yeah, and for various reasons. Actually, the girl that I broke up with from Holland, I flew to see her. Because I didn't know what she was doing, and she was sleeping with Juan. So I told her, I know, you're sleeping with my teacher. She goes, no, I saw you. So then I told her friend Mary, she kept denying it. I told her my friend Mary that I'd seen her doing that. And Mary's like, oh my God, I hope you don't ever fly to come and see me.
People can't get away with that. Oh my.
Yeah.
Now, what about the future?
I bring him to the conference.
Alan, can you also, when you do this, can you fly into the future? Can you see what's happening, or can you could you find this missing plane? I mean, that's certainly something that's on everybody's mind. Can people do that with ayahuasca?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried that, but what I have spirits that tell me the future. And they tell me what's going to happen. They've saved my life 2 times.
Oh.
And they told me a lot of incredible things, yeah. And they come true. So I know it's real too.
That's wonderful. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
What a
It's a completely different world down here. And
yes.
It's a shamanistic world. And the word doesn't even come from here. It was brought here by tourists. The shamans, that word comes from Siberia. The word here is like curanderos. And you have the umbrella called curanderos, and below that umbrella you have people that are special with ayahuasca, people that are special with, they call ayahuasqueros, and you have people that are special with tree resins, and the tree resins that are very, very, very visionary and psychotropic. And they're called paleros. And then you have people that work with bones, like way beyond chiropractics. I mean, they're called hueseros. Hueso is bone. For instance, I had Maria Luisa, she comes here, she works on a massage table when I have the tourists come in. And I had Roy here from Amsterdam. He had scoliosis, and he said, can she work on me? Scoliosis, curvature was fine. And I was like, yeah, Roy, yeah, I don't know, try and see. So he laid down there on the table, and in 40 minutes, he stood up and his spine was straight. And I was thinking, oh, my God, I'm probably going to get arrested for this because he'll probably be a quadriplegic playing with his spine. But he's been here 6 years now, and his spine is still straight. He lives here now.
Oh, amazing.
She's absolutely, that's folkloric medicine. And she was not, her father was a huesero. He was a bone setter. And she didn't tour with him. She didn't learn from him. On his deathbed, he willed this gift to her.
Oh, my goodness.
There's so much magic down here. You cannot believe. We have stone healers. You lay down, you go to his clinic, and it's got like 6 or 7 beds there, and he lays these flat stones on you, and he takes them off at the point where they're not magnetized to your body anymore because they've absorbed the energy that's causing your problem.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's tabaqueros. And there's
incredible.
There's so much healing here. It's incredible. Absolutely amazing.
Well, it's such a rich life you lead. I mean, you have all the doors are open to such magic, and it's just wonderful to have this opportunity to talk to you and hear more of these wonderful experiences. And again, for everybody listening, please get a copy of this great book. It is Ayahuasca Medicine, The Shamanic World of Amazonian Sacred Plant Healing by Alan Shoemaker. It is available on Amazon.com. Alan, thank you so much for such a wonderful evening and so informative. This has been great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I absolutely adored it. And anytime you want me to come talk again, just let me know. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We're going to have you back for sure. And please keep us posted on your new book. We're all excited to hear about that, and we'd love to have you back again to talk about that or anything else to do with such a wonderful and healing topic that we all need to hear about. So thank you for sharing your experiences in the world with us and in the other world with us.
Yes.
Thank you, Alan.
It was so much fun.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you both very much. Thank you.
It was great. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your beautiful evening in Peru.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Alan. And Becky, you have a message. You always have a message for somebody special out there. So please go ahead.
Okay. The message tonight is for Dallas. We will answer you in your dream under a thunderstorm. Durasi tikimiata ko olerasi ashishakakum. Ayanto shalaraya naya tukokam. Aldorusushiati. Yushiati, Dallas. We are with you. And there you go, Dallas. There's your message for tonight.
And please feel free to email Becky when you get this message and have a further conversation about it if you'd like.
Yes. That sounds great. Well, this was a great show.
Oh, it was fantastic. It really was. I mean, Alan's just a wonderful person and a fascinating author. I'm so glad we were able to get him on the show all the way in from Peru. Terrific, huh?
I know. That was wonderful. Straight from Peru. Amazing.
I know.
That was great.
It sounds like quite an adventure down there. We may just have to make a trip and do a show right from Peru someday.
I was thinking about that. That, great minds think alike. We just may have to do that.
We may. We may indeed. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. It's been wonderful having you here with us tonight on the show. And we'll be back next week. We have a wonderful guest who's going to be talking about witchcraft. So stay tuned, everybody, for next week. And in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll be talking to you again real soon.
Wonderful night, Patricia.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural Girl.